The four Tang monks and apprentices passed by Pingding Mountain in Hunan. Here the mountains are high and the forests are dense, and the high-quality cartoons. Wukong asked Bajie to go to the mountains to explore the way. Suddenly, a demonic wind struck. The Silver Horn King appeared with two of his men. He followed the portrait given by his eldest brother Golden Horn. It was determined that in front of him was Tang Sang's second apprentice, Zhu Bajie. So I planned to take him down first, then go and arrest Tang Sang. But Bajie is not a vegetarian. For a while, he was on par with the Silver Horn King. As a result, two demons attacked from behind. A hammer smashed Bajie unconscious. The Silver Horn King brought him back to the Lotus Cave, continued to find Tang Sang's whereabouts. The three of them saw that Bajie had not returned for a long time on the Western Channel. It was decided to continue on his journey to find him in the Western Pinda. At this time, the Silver Horn King turned into a wounded Taoist priest, appeared in front of Tang Sang's eyes. The kind-hearted Tang Sang ordered Wukong to carry him down the mountain. But Goku has long seen through that he is a goblin, so he threw him off the cliff. The Silver Horn King took the opportunity to use the art of moving mountains, crushed Goku under the mountains. Then he took away Sha Sang and Tang Sang. The Golden Horn King knew that Wukong had great powers. Pressing down the mountain is not a long-term solution. So the King of the Silver Horn took out two treasures. Send the delicate ghost and the clever worm to bring Goku back. And Wukong beat the mountain god fatally, before escaping from the bottom of the mountain. On the way to rescue the master, I met two little demons who came to collect me. So Wukong became a Taoist priest. Tell the two that they are the gods of Penglai Immortal Island. This time I came to collect disciples to teach the method of immortality. The two were fooled. Explain your details clearly. Goku also learns the purpose of the yokai, so the plan will be calculated and used to cover the eyes. Let the two of them think that heaven and earth were put into a gourd by him. This trick really convinced the two little demons. Smoothly with an ordinary gourd Western Frequency Center, he deceived the purple gold red gourd and the jade net bottle in the Western Frequency. If you get the treasure back to the Lotus Cave, please merit the boutique cartoon. Goku also turned into a fly and followed. But this little trick can't fool the Golden Horn and Silver Horn at all. At once, I guessed that it was Goku who got out. Cheated away his two treasures. The two of them in order to deal with Goku, who escaped. Send fine ghosts and clever insects to ask for godmothers again. Said that she was asked to eat Tang monk meat. And bring a golden rope to deal with Sun Wukong. But all this was known to Wukong. So he secretly followed. Got rid of the three on the way back. Then the godmother, who turned into a fairy, came to the Lotus Cave. I met the master and brother who were arrested. He also threatened to drink with pig's ears. By the way, deliberately told Bajie the truth. As a result, the delicate ghost, who was not dead, escaped at this time. The Silver Horn King learns that this is a fake godmother. Directly took out the sword and stabbed Goku. Goku flew him with both feet. Then turned back to your original form and escaped from the hole. The Silver Horn King also chased him out. As a result, he was caught by Goku with a golden rope. But the Silver Horn can control the shaking of the gold rope. In turn, he caught Goku. Goku turns the golden hoop stick into a knife, cut the golden rope, and escaped. Then the pseudonymous Xing Sun came to challenge. The Silver Horn King came out to fight. I plan to use the treasure gourd to receive this Walker grandson. As a result, Goku was to lit on the enemy this time. It was packed into a purple gold red gourd. After 3 rounds of drinking, I'm going to see if Goku has turned into thick water. As a result, Goku took the opportunity to escape. Let Bajie make movement to attract gold horns and silver horns. I took advantage of the chaos to wrap the treasure gourd and make moving noodles. Then the alias Xingsun came to call for battle. The Silver Horn King came to meet him with a fake gourd. He saw that the gourd in Wukong's hand was the same as his own. So it was suggested that they call each other once. Let's see whose gourd is more powerful. But where can a fake gourd fight a real gourd? The Silver Horned King, who was kept in the dark, was put into the gourd. Golden Horn heard that his brother had been killed. Go out immediately to avenge your brother Young Pin cartoon. But he is no match for Goku at all. In the end, he was caught by Bajie, who broke free. At this time, Taishang Laozhen came. He tells Goku that these are his 2 apprentices. So he personally subdued the 2 and took away all his treasures. After that, he apologized and left. The 4 of them continued on their way westward. As a result, when passing by the bowling temple in the country of Wuji, #cartoon, encountered a very cautious supernatural event. An unjust soul found Tang Sang in the middle of the night.
师父救我！
陛下，请问你是哪里的皇帝？半夜到此有什么事？
我是乌鸡国国王，特来此地向师父诉说冤情。
什么冤情？
Tang monks and apprentices came to the country of black chickens. Rest for the night in the bowling temple with a boutique cartoon. At night, Tang Sanzang just fell asleep. I heard someone shouting outside the door. When I went out, I found that it was a middle-aged man. This man is the king of the country of black chickens. Specially found Tang Sanzang to help him avenge himself. It turned out to be 5 years ago. The country of black chickens is in the midst of a great drought and the people are suffering. Then Image came, claiming to be able to call the wind and rain. So the king invited him to the stage and begged for rain. Sure enough, the clouds suddenly became dark and the rain poured down. From then on, the king became a brother with him and remained in the palace. On this day, the two came to Baling Temple to play. The Mitch told the king to go to the well and take a look. You can let him play chess with the shadows. The king didn't think much of it. He lay down on the edge of the well and looked inside. As a result, he was suddenly pulled down by the shadows in the well. It turns out that all this is the game of the Midge. He covered the wellhead with a boulder. He became a king, pretty and silently occupying the country. The king begged Tang Sanzang to send his great apprentice son Wukong to descend on the demon. Avenge yourself. In order to prove that what he said was true, the king gave Tang Sanzang a piece of jade as a token. Let him pass it on to the prince, who will come to hunt tomorrow. Tang Sanzang woke up and found that there was indeed a piece of jade around him. So he hurriedly called for his apprentice. I told them what had just happened. The next day, the prince really went out of the palace to hunt. Goku makes use of a fawn. Led him to the bowling temple. Tang Sanzang found him in the name of offering treasures. Used Goku to become a villain. Knocking on the side, he told him about his father's murder. The murderer was the Mitch back then. The king at this time was the Goblin Mitch. The prince didn't believe it at first. But when I saw my father's Baek only then did I temporarily believe in Wukong. In order to get the truth of the matter, the prince ventured to his mother's palace in the middle of the night. From the mouth of the mother, it is true that the current king is not his own father. The angry prince wants to go to the demon road for revenge, only to be stopped by Goku. Tell them to act as if nothing had happened. I will help the king avenge his grievances. Then Wukong finds Bajie, who is sleeping soundly. In the name of treasure hunting, trick him into the back garden of Baling Temple boutique cartoons. This is where the two found the drying well. Under the flickering of the elder brother, Bajie was sent to the bottom of the well. Find the well dragon king and ask him for the treasure. The hungry skinny dragon king has no treasure to give. I had to give him the king's household. After Bajie transported the body, he found out that he had been deceived. In order to bring down the false king, Wukong came to Tushy Palace and asked for a soul rejuvenation pill. Save the dead king. The next day, the four of them came to the palace. Let the king confront the demon in person. The exposed goblin had no choice but to run away. Goku catches up and fights him for a few rounds. The demon knows that he is not an opponent. Deliberately became Tang Sanzang to confuse Wukong. To discern goblins, I had to let them recite the mantra to verify the authenticity. As a result, the fake Tang Sanzang was discovered by Bajie. The sinful Goku went up and was going to be him. At this time, Manjushri came. He tells Goku that the goblin is his mount. The angry Goku reasoned with Manjushri on the spot. And the answer is mysterious and mysterious. I can say that. After saying that, he rode away on his pet. After helping the king's family reunite, the four of them continued on their way westward.
红孩儿的本事天下第一，谁叫你们去惹他的？
不是我，是猴哥。
那红孩儿我都打不过，你还是回去散伙吧。
When the quartet passed by a wood, suddenly I came across a child tied to a tree. Tang Sanzang looked pitiful. Let Bajie save him. But this kid is very strange. Wukong had to carry himself down the mountain. Wukong had already seen that the child was a goblin, so he agreed to him. After the master and the others left, throw the child to the rock. As a result, the goblin suddenly disappeared. Then it turned into a gust of wind and captured Tang Sanzang. Goku goes back and finds that the master is missing. Hurriedly called out the mountain god here to inquire about the news Yongpin cartoon. The mountain god told Goku about the boutique cartoon. The fairy named Red Child lives in the Fire Cloud Cave. He is the son of the Bull Demon King and the Iron Fan Princess. Goku laughed when he heard this. He thinks that he has a relationship with the Bull Demon King. It will definitely take no effort to bring back the master. Seeing this, Bajie also asked to go with him. As a result, Red Boy didn't recognize this uncle at all. Instead, he teased the two. The angry Goku and him moved their hands. When the Red Boy comes up, he directly uses the ultimate. Released the 3-flavor real fire and burned the two of them to the wolves and fled alone. Goku in order to deal with the fire of the Red Child. All of a sudden, the Dragon King of the 4 Seas was invited. As a result, with the help of the 4 Dragon Kings, still can't deal with the 3 flavors of real fire. In the end, he was almost burned to death. After Wukong is rescued, his vitality is greatly damaged. Let Bajie go and ask Guanyin Bodhisattva to help. As a result, this plan was learned by the little demon. When I went back, I told the Red Boy. The Red Boy will also be counted. Turning into the appearance of Guanyin, he stopped the 8 precepts on the halfway. So there is the boasting of the Red Boy at the beginning. After playing tricks on Bajie, the Red Boy promised him to go and slay the demon. Caught Bajie in the Huyun cave. The two of them didn't see Bajie come back for a long time. Wukong came to the demon cave to inquire about the situation. Unexpectedly, he learned that the Red Boy was going to invite his father to eat Tang monk meat. So he became the Bull Demon King. Deliberately met a little demon halfway. Smoothly enters the fire cloud cave. Seeing the master and the younger brother, there is no queen. Persuaded the Red Boy not to eat Tang monk meat. Otherwise, he will be retaliated by son Wukong.
爸爸，你今天胆子怎么变小了？你不是说吃一块唐僧肉就能够长生不老吗？
那是过去，现在我吃素了。吃素好，快把我们放了。
Red Boy realizes that something is wrong with today's father. So he asked the little demon where he invited the boss. The demon told him he had met him halfway. The Red Boy deliberately questioned Wukong. What is your birthday? As a result, I tried out Wukong's identity at once. Goku didn't dwell too much on it either. Immediately turned into a fly and flew away. Then he personally came to the South China Sea. Find the real Guanyin Bodhisattva to help. The Bodhisattva prepared a jade vase and a lotus seat. Follow Goku to the fire cloud cave to slay demons. Wukong takes the initiative to bring out the red children. The Red Boy once again used the 3 flavors of true fire to fight. As a result, it was all absorbed by the Bodhisattva's jade bottle. Just when the Red Boy wondered, a large amount of water erupted from the jade bottle, flooded the entire fire cloud cave. Angry, Red Boy decides to break the net. Compete directly to Guanyin. Guanyin deliberately showed weakness and left, leaving the lotus seat. After the Red Boy sniffed the throne of Guanyin, I sat down on it directly. I just fell into the trap of Guanyin, firmly trapped on it. After the indoctrination and lessons of Guanyin, the Red Boy finally relented and was willing to follow the Bodhisattva. But after getting out of trouble, the Red Boy still has a careful mind. In order to discipline him, well, Guanyin also brought him a set of golden hoops similar to the tightening mantra. This is the complete taming of this naughty child. Since then, Guanyin has named him a boy of good wealth. The Red Boy has also entered the establishment. The 4 masters and apprentices also continue to go west. As a result, when passing by the car Lake Country, I met 3 goblins at once. This is a country that values the Tao over the Buddha. All the drudgery was done by the monks, and the Taoist priests are in charge of overseeing it. Once it was found that the monks were not working well, to go up is to be whipped. Suddenly, the rope breaks. A trolley full of wood knocked the overseer out of the way. It just fell in front of Tang Sanzang and his apprentices. I learned that the 4 people in front of me were monks. I was going to take him away and do it as a coolie. As a result, he was picked up by Goku and flew back. Tang Sanzang couldn't bear to see these monks being oppressed, so he let Goku do all the work. The monks were very grateful to Tang Sanzang. Tang Sanzang asked the reason for his puzzlement. It turned out that the king here was hooked on the cult, under the bewitchment of the 3 sect masters. All the monks in the country have to work for the cult. Tang Sanzang, in order to liberate the oppressive monks, I decided to meet the 3 masters. The 4 masters and apprentices came to the cult's base camp on the Western Channel. After the 3 sect leaders of Hulu and Yang learned of the intentions of Tang Sanzang and others, directly start the coxcomb and catch the 4. Tomorrow they will sacrifice to God with their hearts and hearts. Goku conjures to sleepy bugs with his hair, hypnotized to guards, then use the key to open the cell door. The 4 of them secretly escaped, but the city was heavily guarded. Wukong handed over the master to the monk he met during the day. He led the Sand Monk Bajie to the cult base camp. 3 idols of gods are seen here. Goku threw them all out of the city. After the three of them had eaten and drunk enough, they became idols and hid themselves. The three sect leaders heard the movement and came to the main hall. As a result, the movement of the three of them was mistaken for a god manifestation. On the spot, he knelt down and prayed for holy water. Goku took the three of them out of the way, so they began to discuss the creation of holy water. When the three of them heard that they could go in front of you, you will see a jar of golden liquid full of fairy energy.
这么一股骚味儿，只要长生不老，管他呢！
The three of them drank the jar of holy water very evenly. The greedy eyes of the men next to him were straightened. As a result, the three of them came out of the disgusting age after drinking. But Wukong, Bajie, and their laughing stomachs. Huli Daxian pounced angrily. Goku doesn't dwell too much on it. The tower was stabbed open with a golden hoop stick, and the three of them flew out. The next day, the four men met the king. Tang Sanzang suggested that he expel the cult and release the monks, and Huli Daxian tried his best to refute. The other two suggested that three of them were killed. The losing side pays with their lives. Huli Daxian flew directly to the high platform. As soon as the flag waved, the sky began to be cloudy. Then lightning and thunder began. Seeing this, Wukong went out of his body. Fly to the sky and ask Huli Daxian, whose relationship is not strong enough, has been narrowed. This man is holding the flag high and is begging for rain in the west. Although the sky is cloudy, boutique cartoons, but it just hasn't rained yet, and it's in the center of the west. The reason why it doesn't rain is Goku's boutique cartoons. He was before that. I've already talked to the three immortals who are in charge of the rain. Don't help yokai ask for rain. Waiting for his own golden hoop stick to lift up to the sky, young pin cartoon. It began to rain and wind. After putting down the golden hoop stick, the rain passed and the sky was clear. Huli Dazen, who failed to ask for rain, explained to the king that Western frequency wine. It's all to blame that the gods are not at home today, and the Western Pinda. When it was Tang Sang's turn to ask for rain, Goku casts a spell to send him to the high platform. When he's done, Goku drew a circle in place. He used the golden hoop stick to inform Lei Gong. The three of them immediately began to set up the clouds. After receiving Goku's second signal, immediately lightning and thunder began to roar, and it began to pour down. And asked the two sides to play again. The second competition is meditation. Wukong thinks it's better to meditate than a monk. I am afraid that there is a famous hall inside. Sure enough, as Goku expected. Then one turned into a mosquito to interfere with Bajie. When it looks like it's about to be overwhelmed, Wukong Yunshin went out of his body and drove away the sheep demon. Then it turns into a snail, directly bitten the tiger power immortal down. As a result, the three yokai continued to play tricks. I have to guess again. Wukong reluctantly agreed, in order to prevent the monsters from cheating. This time, Goku secretly did something first. Sure enough, he won easily. In the second round, Goku repeats his old tricks again, caused the three yokai to lose another game. With Goku's help, Tang Sang won this guess effortlessly. The angry yokai moved his hands. Bajie also unambiguously went up. But it depends on the ancestral ability of the goblins. They controlled the king and ordered the competition to continue. This time the competition is a real kung fu oil pot bath. In order to get rid of Goku directly, and Wukong also jumped directly into the oil pot and create the illusion of being blown up. Just when everyone is sad, Wukong appeared intact in front of everyone. Then it was the turn of young Li Daxian to get out of the pot. He jumped into the pan like no one. Goku thinks there are stilts on the out-of-body discovery. It turned out to be a cold dragon helping him cool down. Then Goku conjures up an eagle, captured the cold dragon in the pot. Yangli Daxian was also blown back to its original shape. Only then did the king realize that the three masters were all monsters. The other two are no longer hiding. Directly killed the four Tang monks. They are not opponents though. But the demon magic of one body is not dead at all. So Wukong drugged the certificate, conjure up an eagle and walk the head. Huli Daxian is dead. Then he grabbed the lower half of Luli Daxian's body. All three goblins were destroyed. The king also realized his fault. Saved all the monks in the country. The base camp built by the cult was demolished. The people of this village are in good weather. Every year, a pair of boys and girls are offered to the fairies. Tang monks and apprentices passed by Tongqian Western Channel. I happened to bump into the scene of a witch's sacrifice. I learned from the people in the vicinity. 2.5 years ago, Tongqian came to a king of inspiration. Every year, a pair of boys and girls are sacrificed. This year, it was the family's turn. As soon as Goku heard it, he knew that it was a monster playing tricks. Tang Sang asked the apprentices to find a way to subdue the demons. Goku came up with an idea. He and Bajie became virgins and girls. When the goblin came, he took the opportunity to kill him. But Bajie is weak and timid. I don't say that I won't become a girl. And Wukong immediately revealed the shortcomings of the 8 precepts. Tell Tang Sang that he will change Xuanzang 36 times. Under the coercion of the master, Bajie is willing to give it a try. So she became a pig girl. In the end, it was with the help of Goku, only to become a normal little girl completely. In the evening, the two went to the altar by the river. When I fell asleep sleepily in the middle of the night after Bajie, suddenly I found that the goblin had arrived. The king of inspiration was puzzled by the fact that the 2 children were not afraid, but I still didn't think much of it. When he opened his mouth to eat Goku, he found his monkey tail. The king of inspiration felt wrong, decided to eat the virgin of the 8 rings first. As a result, Bajie was frightened and changed back. Goku also took the opportunity to change back to his original form. Fought with the Inspiration King. I have Vajra armor invulnerable, understand? Hit him on the instep. Goku grabbed the weakness and beat him into the river with 2 sticks. Then he smashed the altar and returned to the village. When Bajie bragged about how heroic he was, the witch outside the door learned that it was Tang Sang Master and Apprentice Western Channel. So I hurried back to report to the Inspiration King. In order to eat Tang monk meat, the 2 began to plot a plan. The next day, when the Tang monks and apprentices were ready to leave, only to find that the Tiantong River was frozen in June. After being scouted by Wukong and Bajie, the 4 decided to cross the river along the ice. Suddenly, the ice broke and Tang Sang sank to the bottom. Only then did the 3 of them realize that they had fallen into the trap of the monster. Wukong hurriedly goes into the water to rescue the master. Then he turned into a little demon and went into the cave to find out the situation. But he was recognized by the King of Inspiration. Seeing that they couldn't outwit them, the 3 of them began to attack. Bajie and Xuanzang are responsible for luring out the monsters. Goku is on the shore preparing for the fatal blow. But goblins aren't too stupid. Knowing that being in the water is your home field, dead or alive, is not willing to catch up with the shore. The 2 had no choice but to withdraw first. At this time, a crane brings a basket for Wukong. It turned out to be a treasure sent by Guanyin Bodhisattva. Goku makes use of Guanyin's flower basket, smoothly takes away the Inspiration King at the bottom of the river. The river god of the Tangshan River thanked Goku for driving away the monsters. You can return home. He took the initiative to carry the 4 masters and apprentices across the river, help them continue their journey westward to learn from the scriptures. This is the goblin that Sun Wukong is most afraid of on the way to learn the scriptures. Not only did he take away the golden rod, he also pressed the heavenly soldiers and generals to the ground and rubbed them. Even the Buddha didn't dare to make a move on him. The 4 masters and apprentices suddenly encounter a Blizzard boutique cartoon. Tang Sang asked Wukong to find some food, but Goku is afraid that there will be goblins after he leaves. So he drew a circle on the ground. Tell the master not to go out until he returns. Goku just walked on his front foot. The 8 precepts began to make moths. It's called painting the grounds as a prison. Brother Monkey is putting you in jail. Suddenly, Bajie found that there were rows of footprints in the distance. Then he instigated the master and the sand monk. Follow the footprints to find this family. Tang Sang is estimated to be in a hurry. Followed Bajie out of the circle drawn by Wukong. The 3 of them followed the footprints and found a wooden house. Bajie took the initiative to enter the house to investigate. But there was nothing in the house. Only on the 2nd floor, there are 3 padded jackets. Bajie picked up the padded clothes and planned to go back. I looked back and found out. Bajie was frightened and hurriedly ran out of the house. But Tang Sang resolutely did not wear stolen clothes. And the 2 apprentices were not so particular. Passed the padded jacket directly to the body. Suddenly, the padded garment tightened. The people in the house came out and arrested the 3 people. At this time, Goku comes back and finds that the circle is empty. So I followed the footprints to find the demon cave. Directly fought with the goblins. During the fight, Goku discovers this monster's identity is definitely not ordinary. I even know my own details clearly. Goblin in order to take down Goku. I plan to bully more and less. As a result, all his men were beaten away by the golden hoop stick. Seeing this, the goblin took out the Vajra ring and took away the golden hoop stick. Then make use of your own single horn. Fly Wukong directly to the south heavenly gate. Wukong just took advantage of this to ask the Jade Emperor to help check the details of the goblin. But the reply was that there were many gods in the sky. Goku, who had lost the golden hoop stick, began to move the rescuers. Find Neza and the god of thunder and fire to subdue the demons. At the beginning, it was very imposing British product cartoons. But I didn't expect the monster to show people weakness Western frequency wine. Suddenly, there's magic weapon kicked him away. When the god of fire saw this, he offered his treasure, conjuring up countless firebirds and hitting the goblins. As a result, it was all absorbed by the Vajra circle. Neza saw that magic damage didn't work, so he personally took action in hand-to-hand combat. But the yokai deliberately wanted to rely on it. Still defeated Neza with a one-handed diamond circle. Helpless, Wukong had no choice but to ask the Buddha for help. But the Buddha was reluctant to make a move. Only tell Goku that the yokai are from heaven. The angry Wukong left directly. In order to figure out the origin of the goblin, Goku turns into a demon and sneaks into a demon cave. I heard that the monster had been in the Tushi Palace. Then Wukong founded Taisheng Liuzhen. Here he found his mount, the green bull, missing. There is also a baby diamond bracelet. After figuring out the identity of the yokai, Wukong used the treasure given by Taisheng Liuzhen, took away his Vajra ring. But the yokai still refused to be caught. Transform back into your original form and make a final struggle. And Goku is incarnated as a matador. Easily subdued the yokai. Then the four of them continued westward. Came to the legendary Daughter Country. There is a lot of love and hatred here. This boar is only famous for taking a sip of river water boutique cartoons. It actually caused me to get pregnant. It is known from the local population. This river is called the Zimu River. If you drink the water of this river, you will be able to conceive a child. We don't have men in Ziliang country. And by drinking the water of this river to multiply, in order to help Bajie do abortion surgery, the four of them decided to go into the city to find a way. At this time, the king of the Daughter Country received the news of Tang Sang's arrival. Immediately ride out of the city to meet you, because there have been no men in the country. After a long time, even Bajie looked at his eyebrows, are all vying to offer courtesy and ridicule a few people. After Tang Sang came to the post house, the king, disguised as a man, found him. From the mouth of the king, 300 miles away from here, there is a fountain spring. Drinking the spring water, there can eliminate tire gas. But recently, it was occupied by a Taoist priest. The queen sent troops to recapture it. Now you can only buy spring water for a lot of money. But the four masters and apprentices were all poor. So Goku decided to help take back the fountain. Goku comes to the place and discovers the boutique cartoon. There is indeed a Taoist priest and a sign with a clear price. The Taoist priest thought that Wukong was here to buy water boutique cartoons. As a result, what we got was 4 words: Western Frequency Gate.
我一个钱也没有，买什么水呀？
那你来干什么？
叫你滚蛋！
When the Taoist priest saw that the comer was not good, he moved his hand. With a hand of stealth and a pair of broken shoes, Wukong, who was actually beaten, had no power to fight back. Wukong had no choice but to flee back to his daughter's country and call Shangsha monk. The two used a trick to catch the Taoist priest, eventually ruined the slippers and got rid of the goblins. After Bajie drank the water of the abortion spring, sure enough, the fetal gas in the stomach was removed. The next day, Tang Sang looked for the king to stamp the customs clearance card. Found the person who had been talking to him all night yesterday. It turned out to be the king of the Daughter Country. The queen continued to be alone with Tang Sang. In the name of gratitude, he invited the 3 apprentices to the banquet. Tang Sang came to the palace. I saw the portrait that the queen had prepared for herself, and also took the initiative to perform a dance. At this time, Tang Sang wanted to see it, but didn't dare to look at it. At this time, the prime minister told him,
我们陛下愿意让出王位，让您来治理国家，他乐意当您的王后。
阿弥陀佛。
这么说，我现在该称您为国王陛下了。
不，使不得。
唐僧师傅，事到如今，恐怕您已经身不由己了。我们已经为您筹备了结婚大典。
啊
Tang Sang wants to marry the queen. Soon his 3 apprentices were notified here in the western Pingkong. The chief of the guard sent 10,000 taels of gold to see off his high-quality cartoons. Goku was furious when he heard that they were going to keep the master, but the guards were determined to keep Tang Sang.
我老朱今天吃的太饱了，正想和这里的姑娘玩玩。
唐玉帝，你得明白，现在我是你的老婆。把头转过来，看来你的脖子有病，我得替你治一治。
On the day of the queen's wedding, her husband was captured by a female monster. Tang Sanzang just came to the daughter country, was forcibly left in the palace by the queen to marry and have children, and is willing to give up the throne after getting married. This is a condition that is difficult for countless men to refuse. But Tang Sanzang replied like this.
你真的不想留在这儿为王吗？
不想。
那你得说出令我信服的理由。
为了弘扬佛学，历尽艰险去西天取经，绝不能半途而废。
The queen saw that Tang Sanzang was determined, so they shut him up in the house until he agreed to get married. At this time, Wukong founded Tang Sanzang, came up with an idea for him to leave. The next day, Tang Sanzang found the queen, promised to stay and marry her to inherit the throne. However, it must be stamped with a clearance document first. Let the 3 apprentices continue to go to the west to learn scriptures. The queen finally agreed to do so at once. So Tang Sanzang thought that the apprentice was sending him an excuse. After leaving the city the next day, he went straight to the showdown with the queen.
下，请回去吧，贫僧要去西天取经了。
什么？你怎么能欺骗朕呢？
这是我的主意。
请陛下恕罪。
As a result, Tang Sanzang was just about to leave, was taken away by the goblins. It turned out that the Pipa spirit also fell in love with Tang Sanzang, is also to arrest him and go back to get married.
唐玉帝，你得明白，现在我是你的老婆。把头转过来，看来你的脖子有病，我得替你治一治。你给我吃，吃饱了好跟我进洞房成亲。
After that, he gave Tang Sanzang a big blow. As a result, Goku came to him at this time, instantly ruined the good things of Pipa Jing and Tang Sanzang. The two got into a mess on the spot, all the way from inside the cave to outside the hole, under the wheel battle of Wukong and Bajie. Yaokai still don't fall behind. In the end, a scene of 3 British battles against Lubu was staged. Pipa Jing knew that he would definitely lose if he dragged it any longer, so she used her poison tongs to poison Goku. When he saw that the goblins were about to be killed, the queen arrives suddenly to stop her. As a result, he was captured by a monster. After Wukong woke up, he immediately went to the South China Sea to bring rescue troops. After the goblin caught the queen in the hole, first humiliated her, and then took away the queen's face, turned her into an old woman. Wukong took Guanyan's boy to the Pipa cave. This time Goku deliberately showed weakness and angered the goblins, all the way to a big river. Bajie and Xuanzang pulled the monster to the bottom of the river. Then the boy took action to recover the Pipa spirit. After Goku rescues his master, came to the palace again to help the queen restore her face. The queen also saw it after this difficulty. She asked Wukong to give the close-fitting jade pendant to Tang Sanzang. Hopefully, he will always remember himself. Put it in front of the boundary marker. Let her heart remain on her land. Then the 4 of them continued westward.
我要让你知道，俺老孙不是好欺负的。
After speaking, Wukong gave Tang Sanzang a big coercion. He collapsed on the ground and didn't move. Why did Goku do this? It turned out to end a half hours ago in Boutique Cartoon. The 4 of them passed by a canyon Boutique Cartoon. Suddenly, a flash flood swept away several people in the Boutique Cartoon. Tang Sanzang rushed out under the leadership of the White Dragon Horse. Instead, they met a gang of robbers. The leader of the robbers asked Tang Sanzang where he was from.
东土大唐。
哦，那儿可是个富得流油的地方啊！哎，你这和尚不待在大唐的寺庙里，跑这儿来干嘛呀？没钱就送你上西天。
So the robbers hung Tang Sanzang up. After the reunion of Wukong and the others, I saw that the master was tied up by robbers. In order not to let Tang Sanzang be harmed, Wukong turned into a little monk and came to investigate. After learning that this group of robbers was only for robbery, Wukong used a spell to conjure a large ingots and redeemed his master. Then they took advantage of the robbers' greed for money, deliberately let them kill each other for money. In the end, they all died at the hands of their own people. At this time, Tang Sanzang came. Seeing the households all over the ground, I thought that Wukong was killing innocents indiscriminately. Wukong comes to the South China Sea. Find Guanyan Bodhisattva to confide. Guanyan knew that it was Wukong who had been wronged in the Boutique Cartoon battle for the time being, and the team without Goku's Boutique Cartoons. Tang Sang had no choice but to count on the 8 precepts to turn into fate. As a result, Bajie was deliberately lazy. Tang Sang asked Sha Sang to look for him again. At this time, Goku arrives with fruit. Tang Sang still refused to accept his affection. As a result, the angry Wukong stunned him with a big force, and then went away with the baggage. The Sand Monk came back with the sleeping Bajie. I saw the master, who was knocked unconscious. Learned from Tang Sang that it was Wukong who beat him. But the customs clearance text in the package was taken away. Now it's hard to even learn from the scriptures. So Sha Sang took the initiative to go to Wagwo Mountain to ask for Baoshu. As a result, Goku didn't pay attention to him at all, and he formed a team to learn from the experience. The angry Sand Monk returned to the original form of the imposter, but he was also beaten by Goku and escaped from the waterway. At this time, Wukong of the South China Sea was depressed. I can't sleep because I'm worried about my master and disciples.
你的心真好，你师父冤枉了你，可是你还那么惦着他们。
没办法，我师父虽说有些固执和偏见，可是他意志坚强，信仰坚定，我很佩服他。和他在一起时倒没什么，一离开他就感到寂寞和空虚了。
At this time, the Sand Monks came to the South China Sea. As a native of Mongolia, he moved directly to Goku. Fortunately, Guanyin Bodhisattva arrived in time. Proves Wukong's purity. The Sand Monks told Wukong what had happened. The angry Wukong immediately returned to Wagwo Mountain. Here, a Monkey King battle is on the verge of breaking out in the western side.
眼下我也没办法分清你们谁真谁假，可我相信假的总是假的，总有一天会原形毕露。我奉劝他还是站出来，我愿收他为徒。
Wukong returns to Wagwo Mountain and meets his own face-bumping monster, Boutique Cartoons. The two monkeys fought without saying a word in a boutique cartoon. The fake Wukong turned out to be back and forth with the real Wukong, a boutique cartoon. For a while, no one could tell the truth from the fake. So the two came to the South China Sea. Find Guanyin Bodhisattva to help distinguish the true from the fake. But Guanyin's Ling Zidu can't make the fake Wukong appear. In desperation, I had to persuade the fake to take the initiative to admit it. But in the end, it didn't solve the problem. Then the two of them came to the Heavenly Palace again. Let the Jade Emperor use the Demon Mirror to identify monsters. As a result, the mirror is like failing. Not only did it fail to reflect the original form of the fake Wukong, instead, he was kicked out. At this time, Wang Lingguan suggested. He said that the true Wukong is immortal in the flesh. Whoever can withstand the torture of the Heavenly Court is real. After the thunder and fire, both are unharmed. In desperation, the two had to be temporarily imprisoned in prison. Suddenly, Bajie found the Heavenly Palace. He wanted to discern who his real monkey brother was. Just ask them questions one by one. But as a result, both of them knew Bajie's little secret. For a while, it was at an impasse again. Then the two Wukong came to the underworld again. I want to borrow the life and death book of the king of the room to check the details of the monster. But according to the judge, when Wukong made a big fuss in the underworld, write off all the monkeys in the book of life and death. No information can be found at this time. So Hades opened a pass for the two. Let the two of them come to the Jizo King Bodhisattva. When King Jizo learned the cause of the incident, let the Mount listen to distinguish the truth of the two. As a result, I can't tell the truth from the false. The king of Jizo asked them to go to the Buddha for help. Two fought all the way to the West Heaven, Layan Temple. Then they have proved to the Buddhas that they are the real boutique cartoons.
事到如今，假悟空应该自己承认。
Wukong returned to Tang Sang again. Tang Sang also solemnly apologized to Wukong.
师父，佛祖说，只要我一心向善，那妖怪就不会再出现了。
我怎么一点儿也听不懂啊？
哎呦，疼死我了！孙叔叔，你饶了我吧，我答应把扇子借给你，你就快出来吧。
好，你张开嘴，我出来了。
Tang monk and apprentice came to a strange place. The mountains here are all on fire. It's hard to put a foursome hod on the Western Channel. Goku called out the land to inquire about the situation.
土地公公告诉他，这里名叫火焰山，绵延800里。要想从这里过去，需要向铁扇公主借芭蕉扇，可铁扇公主却十分凶狠，至今无人能借来芭蕉扇。
Wukong relied on himself to have a relationship with the Bull Demon King. Take the land to find Basho Cave. Princess Iron Fan heard that Sun Wukong wanted to see her. Immediately walked out in a rage. Wukong borrowed a fan from her in a good voice. The result was sneering. It turned out that Princess Tishan had always thought It was Goku who killed his son, Red Boy. It is not only known that he was brought into the establishment by Guanyin, despite how Goku explains. Princess Iron Fan just doesn't believe it. It is necessary to avenge the son of the enemy. Goku doesn't fight back and leaves her at her disposal. But in the end, the sword was curled. Goku remained unscathed. At this time, the princess of the Iron Fan took out the banana fan. All of a sudden, he fanned Wukong to the dojo of the West Heaven, Lingji Bodhisattva. As a result, Wukong accidentally got a fixed wound bead here. After bidding farewell to Lingji Bodhisattva, Goku comes to Basho Cave again. Continue to borrow a fan with a good voice. Princess Iron Fan lost her mind at this point, fighting with Goku again. The Iron Fan princess, who was not an opponent, took out her fans again. And Wukong did not move at all under the blessings of the wine bead. Frightened, the Iron Fan princess hurriedly fled back to the cave. However, Goku turns into a fly, quietly fly into the hole, then get into the tea, easily enter the body of the Iron Fan princess. Goku is crazy in her boutique cartoons, bringing the Iron Fan princess back to life. In the end, I had to agree to lend him the fan. Goku came out of her body at this time. Goku, who got the fan, immediately returned to the Flamingo Mountain. As a result, not only did the fire not be extinguished, instead, it fueled the momentum of the flames. 4 of them almost died here. At this time, the land suggested Goku, you can use the Bull Demon King to borrow a banana fan.
我问你，这火焰山的火是不是牛魔王放的？
说出来，大圣可别生气啊！这火焰山还是你大圣闹出来的。
我？
It turned out that Wukong made trouble in the Heavenly Palace 500 years ago, overturned Lao Jun's gossip furnace. The 3-flavored true fire in the furnace formed this mountain of flames. Only then did Wukong know that he had made it. So he took the land to find the Bull Demon King. And repay your son's red child. As a result, the two just started fighting. The jade-faced fox reminded the Bull Demon King, I'm going to go to the Dragon King for a drink today. So the Bull Demon King proposed a temporary truce.
等回来再继续打。
Kong also followed the Bull Demon King all the way to the Dragon Palace, while the two were drinking water golden-eyed beast. Then head back to Bashodong. Princess Iron Fan learns that the Bull Demon King has returned. I don't have any precautions in my heart. Goku took the opportunity to take her to the house. A flattering speech coaxed the Iron Fan princess very happily. The Bull Demon King found out after he was full of wine and food. His mount is gone. He realized that something was wrong. Hurriedly bid farewell to the Dragon King and went to Basho Cave.
三叔叔，你饶了我吧，你就快出来吧。
好，你张开嘴，我出来了。
Sun Wukong turned into the appearance of the Bull Demon King. And Brittany lived a life without shame in boutique cartoons. Take advantage. Kong's side looked like he was about to go up. Brittany took out the banana fans. I also told him the mantra of the fans. Goku's conspiracy is far away, engaged in a fight to the death. At this time, the land arrived with Bajie. Immediately went up to persuade the 2 great sages to make peace. Took out a treasure gourd. The stench released made the 2 lose their combat effectiveness. Then he pulled the Bull Demon King back to celebrate. Wukong invited the land to rescue Bajie after waking up. Hit Mo Yun Cave again. The Bull Demon King was so frightened that he immediately ran back to Basho Cave. Wukong asks Bajie to deal with the jade-faced fox. Go hunt down the escaped Bull Demon King by yourself. The Bull Demon King handed the fans to Brittany. Come out again to face Goku Boutique cartoons. After a hand-to-hand fight between the 2 Western channels, another competition of changing pots was launched. But the Bull Demon King is simple-minded and has well-developed limbs. I was dizzy by Goku.
你们谁能猜得出我现在想干什么？
师傅准是坐得困了，想下来溜溜腿。
师傅大概又对莲花经有了什么新的见解，要解经说法。
不对。
那是
沙僧，你说呢
？2位师兄都猜不出，那我就更不好说了。
你们就没想到，每次我见你们去化缘，心里总是过意不去。这回我也想去为大家化缘。
Why did Tang Sang suddenly take the initiative to turn into fate? It turned out that he was on his way to the fate. At once, I met 7 beautiful women walking towards me. 7 people learned after inquiry. In front of him is the Tang monk who learned scriptures from the West. When the eldest sister, Xuanzang, heard this, she quickly pulled him home. Suddenly, all kinds of delicacies from the mountains and seas filled the table.
女菩萨，贫僧只是素斋，不食荤腥。
这是素斋，请师傅放心。
唐僧见状摇了摇头。
你不信？
Immediately report the name of the eldest apprentice son Wukong. But yokai don't eat this set of boutique cartoons at all. Boutique cartoons. After teasing Tang Sanzang for a while, boutique cartoons trapped him in the Pansy Cave on the Western Channel. The three of them saw that the master had not returned for a long time. Goku went to look for it. As a result, only the bull Meng dropped by Tang Sanzang was found. So Wukong called out to Shidi to inquire about the situation. I learned that there are 7 female yokai here, and often go to the hot spring lake to bathe. Goku came to Hot Spring Mountain, and sure enough, he saw 7 yokai. I also heard that the master was indeed arrested. In order to rescue Tang Sanzang, Goku turned into an eagle and walked away from the clothes of the 7. When I went back, I met Bajie. I told him everything about the yokai. Bajie heard that there were 7 female monsters taking a bath. Suddenly, the sense of justice exploded, and he had to go to eliminate harm for the people. But Wukong said that it was important to rescue the master first. Those monsters can't get out of it for a while. But Bajie's lust was big at this time. I came to the hot spring lake without permission. As a result, I didn't see the beauty bath. Instead, he was taken advantage of by the monster to get out, and he was also caught. After Wukong came to Pansy Cave to rescue his master, I went out and met the sand monks. As soon as the 2 of them combined, they guessed that Bajie was arrested. Bajie was brought back to Pansy Cave. I was bewildered by the sound of the monster's flute on the Western Channel. Happened to fight with Goku, who came to save him on the Western Channel. Wukong didn't dare to attack Bajie on the Western Channel. As a result, he has been kicked and flew into the spiderweb of a boutique cartoon. Seeing this, Xuanzang sent her Jame to suck Wukong dry, and Wukong snatched the flute with a trick. Then the homeopathic solution to the spider spirit next to it. The embroidered girl was defeated and immediately fled. Goku uses the land to bring himself into the demon cave. The monsters were all scared away when they saw Goku. After rescuing Bajie, the 2 set fire to the Pansy Cave. The homeless 7 spider spirits decided to go to the mysterious elder brother for help. The Tang monks and apprentices must be wiped out. This monster hit Sun Wukong and had no power to fight back. As a result, he was killed by Brother Kun with a look. Who raised this Kun? Tang monks and apprentices passed by the Yellow Flower Temple. I am planning to spend the night here. The old Taoist priest not only took in for people, he was also specially set out to entertain them. Goku could tell at a glance that there was something wrong with the tea, but the other 3 were not at all guarded. Drink all the tea in the bowl. The result happened unexpectedly. The 3 of them suddenly had unbearable abdominal pain. Wukong immediately attacked the old Taoist. The old Taoist priest made no secret of his purpose.
我让你见个人，你就明白了。